Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's Saturday afternoon here in Stratland. My name is Tenacious Earl, and what better way to get back on the proverbial Stratomatic horse than to get your game out here and play. And last couple of games here have been tough. I've been playing a Phillies replay, and things haven't exactly gone according to plan as far as they've kind of gotten a bit of a losing streak. I guess that's to be expected, I would say. But seeing that this is the first time I've ever done an as-played replay, I guess I was expecting a little more consistency from them, and it really has not come about. So that's something that we're working through here at the TBL headquarters. It's going to be Phillies and the Pirates for Game 3 of the series. The Phillies looking to stave off a sweep at the hands of these buccos. Buccos have been very tough, taking the offense to both, let's see, I want to say Moyer and Kendrick. I should look back and see. Probably Eaton and Kendrick, actually. I can tell you. They beat Kendrick most recently by a score of 9-6. And the previous game, the first game of the series, it was Adam Eaton on the mound. He only went 4 innings, and the Phillies lost 8-4. So they're looking to try and salvage this one. They lost this game in real life 5-1, but seeing that they did pretty well against the Pirates in the real life series, and this kind of salvaged the game for Pittsburgh, maybe the Phillies will do that today. On the mound for the Pirates will be Paul Maholm. He is, at this moment, because this is basically all, simulation statistics, 2-2, a 3.30 ERA. He's started 4 games. He's averaging about 7 to 8 innings per game, it looks like, in 4 starts, 30 innings. So if you do the math, that's about where it is. Pretty good strikeout to walk ratio there, as you can see, 26-13. So 2-1. For the Phillies, it will be Brett Myers. Myers at a 5.06 ERA, 2-1 record. Now he's got up closer to a 4-1 strikeout walk. He has pitched in 5 games thus far. 5 games, 32 innings pitched. So he's only going about 6 in our simulations here at this point. But give me a moment. I need to get my browser on my Kindle up here, so that way if I get comments, I can interact with all of you out there. I'll try to give you some updates on the statistics for the batters as we go along here. Sometimes it's easier than others. Sometimes I just plain old forget. But I used to write them on the sheets, but I like having the ratings right here next to the spots. Okay, here we go. So the 2 of you that are here, welcome. Like I said, I haven't seen comments flash across. If there have been, I will see them here quite shortly. No, but that's quite all right. Okay, well, let's get going here. It will be, as I said, we're going to use these dice again. They've been working well there for the Pirates, so that's not necessarily a good thing for the Phillies, but heck, you never know. I feel like this series has been sort of a on the flip side kind of series, so we'll see. Maybe the Phillies can get the better of Maholm here. So, okay. The actual lineup for the Phillies on April 27, 2008. So Taguchi in right, leads off Jason Worth in center, bat second. Chase Utley at second base, the third hitter. Thank you, Brent. Ryan Howard, first base, cleaning up. Pat Burrell in left, Feliz at third. Bruntlett short, Ruiz catching again, and number 1 card for Myers. For the Pirates, a couple of changes for them. Nate McLouth leads off in center. Freddie Sanchez second base. Jason Bay left. Ryan Domit back in the catcher's spot, batting fourth. Xavier Nady in right. LaRoche batting sixth and playing at first. Jose Bautista coming in to play third. Mintkevich gets the day off. Rivas is going to play short instead of Bixler. And the number 1 card for Mahalem, a lefty. So we got lefty-righty here. I got to remember that Mahalem is a lefty as we go. And, we need to do... we need to get the ballpark effects numbers. So... and my browser has decided to not work because I got to see what time of day it was, the game, if it was a day game. I mean, it's the final game of the series. It could be a getaway day. They may have decided to play a day game here. It was a day game, so that should help the roll here in Pittsburgh in April. End of April, but April and May are both off the same column. Let's give it a roll. It's a 12, so that'll be an average day. 12s and 7 and 1, so you get at least a little bit of a home run chance with a righty hitter. So the home runs will be, what did I say, 7 and 1? Yes. Singles or 12s on both sides. Okay, we're ready to go. Also changed pens. I took my pen upstairs so to use for scoring a ball game this morning. I watched the Padres beat the Detroit Tigers in an interleague matchup. It's a pretty good game. I wouldn't say it was a pretty good game. It was. I find it always good when I get to score a game. But okay, so Taguchi will lead off. Mahalem on the mound, lefty, so we got to go off the left side of the card. And this is it. Here is first batter, 4-12 against a righty. And Taguchi will ground out towards Rivas, and Rivas is able to make the play. Routine out for the Phillies to start. Jason Worth. As I said, I was going to tell you, so Worth is batting .299. He has 3 home runs and 7 runs batted in. And a 4-5 against a righty. And that's going to be a fly ball out towards Xavier Nady, and he will flag it down for the second out. And now Chase Utley hitting .292, 4 dingers and 18 RBIs. And oh no, I have no clue where that bounced to. Oh my goodness, that's not good. That is not good. I've got a bunch of junk on this bottom shelf, and it could have gone anywhere in any of this. I may have to grab a different die. Look at this later. Oh, that is a real pip. Huh. Oh my. Okay, well. Yeah, that or took a really tall hop. It's out of here now. I don't know where the heck it went. I felt it brush against my leg, and that meant it went pretty high. And then, so we got another 4-9 against a lefty, strikes him out. That was probably the, that was probably the 2-9. But anyway, that's the way it goes. Dice come and dice go. Where they stop, nobody knows. 1, 2, 3 for the Phillies. We're going to go to the bottom of the first. And it'll be Brett Myers. So here we go. McLouth, 258 average. Seems like he's been on base a decent amount here in the first couple games. Myers righty, so we're going to take McLouth there. The lefty against the right-hander, 3-4. And he is going to ground out to Chase Utley for the first out. Freddie Sanchez, 238. Against a righty, 4-7. Strikes him out. First strikeout for Myers. 2 down. Jason Bay having a nice series here. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but his average 258. He's got 6 home runs on the season and a 3.8. And he's going to pick up a 2-out single. So, Bay, with 2 outs, he's going to try to get a lead here. Needs a 3. Gets a 4, so no good lead there. And Myers +2, Ruiz -1, so a +1. Doesn't really leave them much chance to steal with Bay here. It's going to be Domit. He's batting .317 on the season so far with 3 home runs. 6'8". Batting from the left side here, 6'8". And he draws a walk. Bay moves up to second, so 2-out rally here for the Pirates. Xavier Nady. Nady 261, 4 home runs. Myers really needs to shut the door here. They've been getting behind every game, and a 1 on the D20. That would have been the end of the inning, except that it is a 1, which means we go to wild pitch. We re-roll, need a second 1 in a row to get that. And it's 6, so we re-roll. Again, the 211 would have been good for the final out. Let's see what happens now. 3-5. And he does get it. Grounder to Bruntlett. He throws to first, and it's in time, and that will be it for the Pirates in the first. I was a little worried there, but the Phillies defense came through. So we are going to take a short timeout to grab a drink, and then we will be into the second inning. These cards that I made, they want to bend in a way that makes them fall off of this corkboard. So, Mahalam made it easy work of the Phillies in the first. But he now gets Ryan Howard, but that's a lefty-lefty matchup. That should favor the pitcher in this case. Against the lefty, 5-3. Ballpark home run for the lefty. He cranks, gets a hold of a good piece of this one. Is it going to go out of the park? Need a 1-7 for Howard. No, it does not. It will fall short. Fly ball to Nady that is caught. On the track, 1 out. Pat Burrell. Yeah, I should say Howard. Ryan Howard batting .222. That's going to lower because he flew out. 7 home runs, 14 RBI. And now you got Pat Burrell, who has 8 home runs, 17. And he is batting .297. So a nice start to the season for Pat the Bat. 1 out. And a 1-7. And he strikes out. 2 away. Pedro Feliz. Pedro, .297, right at the same mark as Burrell. He has, looks like 3 home runs. And here is Feliz. And against a righty, 5-9. Just got knocked out of the way. That's a strikeout. Gets him, and that will be it for the Phillies. 6 quick outs for Mahalam. Go to the bottom of the second. Still no score. So Myers against LaRoche. 6'9", 6'8", against a lefty, 6'8", and he's pulls a walk there to lead off the inning. Jose Bautista. He's a decent bunter. They're not holding LaRoche on. And they will go ahead and let Bautista hit. And a 2-3 draws a walk off of Myers, 2 in a row. Not a good start to this inning. Luis Rivas. With a pitcher on deck, I don't think you're going to bunt in these situations, and Rivas isn't really rated to bunt. Myers could really use a double play ball here. And against a righty, 4-5. Another walk, 3 in a row for Myers. And that might mean a trip to the mound for the manager, Charlie Manuel. He's wondering what the heck's going on. So, yeah, against a righty, 4-5 is a walk. So now, you got the bases loaded, nobody out. And you got Mahalam at the plate. They're going to play infield in and challenge him here a bit. So, Mahalam is a D-bunter, so, you know, the bunting isn't terribly productive either, but I think you still have to do that because now he's going to be an E on the squeeze play. It's obviously going to be safety. You're not, well, the runner from third has to go, so, but he doesn't have to go before the pitch. But here we go. So it'll be, we'll say safety, but it's not really safety because the runner has to move on contact unless it's a pop fly. So we are doing the bunt and a 7, E7. And I just ripped my chart, unfortunately. That means it's 1-2. And with the way things are lining up off that chart, I would say we aren't going to do any more attempts at a bunt here. We're going to just let him swing away. And it's a 1 on the D20, a chance at a wild pitch, and that roll for Mahalam gets nullified by that 1. So you need a 1 on the D20 for a wild pitch, and it doesn't come. But it was a 3-10, which anything off of the number 1 pitcher's card is going to be helpful to the pitching team. So Mahalam will get another chance to go off Myers' card, but it's 1-4. And that's probably the best case scenario if you're talking about an out, is just to get a strikeout, because there's some A's. I think that would be double play balls. So that brings up McLeod with the bases loaded again. They will play with the infield with the corners in for McLeod. And he's going to go ahead and swing away, try to beat this. And a 5-6 against a lefty strikes him out. Good pitch by Myers, gets him, and so now 2 outs. That'll bring up Freddie Sanchez. Maybe they should have tried squeezing him there. So Sanchez with 2 outs, bases still loaded, infield back, 5-12 against a righty. Ballpark home run, it's against a righty, you need a 1 for that. He's a weak hitter against righties anyway, so it would be a 1 for a single. Otherwise, it'll be an out. And it's an out. That will be a fly out to Pat Burrell, and that will end the inning. So Myers sneaks around 3 walks to start the inning, and see if that can energize these Phillies here to put some runs on the board. They've scored a few, but their pitching hasn't lived up to snuff. So Eric Bruntlett will be the first batter here in the 3rd. And against a righty, 4-9. And he picks up a single to lead off. First hit of the game for Fightin' Phil's Carlos Ruiz. They're going to have to hold Bruntlett on. Bruntlett's going to try to get a lead here. Mahalam, a -4. Dome at +2. So -2, and add that to the -2 for Bruntlett. He's 19, so it'd be -4. 1 to 15 chance if he gets a good lead. He's going to try to make it to steal it here. You know what? We're going to try. Instead, we're going to try hitting and running since he's being held on. It'll be an A hit and run chance here for Carlos Ruiz, and it's a 4-4. That'll be catcher X. So that's probably going to end in an out, but we'll see. And Bruntlett will have to return to base. So 10, he's a 4, a doom it is. Potential passed ball, and a 10, so then a 10 is not going to get an error for the catcher. He is an E3, but that's still, there are no 10 sum products on that. So we go with Mahalam's wild pitch rating for this, and it's a 1, so it'll be a pop out to the catcher. Oh, it's a 1. Oh boy, that is a passed ball. And Bruntlett will move to second, and the at-bat will continue. So the ball gets away from Domit, and Ruiz will still be at the plate. So that's quite a break there for the Phils. So Ruiz, with Myers on deck, is going to try and swing away. There goes a die. Here we go. 2-2, and he's hit by pitch. So after getting dinked, it's going to be Myers, and Myers will definitely be up bunting. He's going to be a D-bunter. Try to move these runners over. D because he's C, and then they're going to play in. So that'll make him a D-bunter. And a D4 is a good sacrifice. Sack 3-4, only play to first. And so with Taguchi coming up, it'll be Bruntlett at third, Ruiz at second, 1 out. So here is Taguchi. Against a righty, 5-9, strikes him out, 2 outs. Taguchi, oh wait, I missed it. And I don't have my correction tape up down here. It's a 1 on the D20, so I missed that right away. It's that we roll this again. How many 1s are we going to get in this game? That's not a 1, so we re-roll. I may have to run and get my correction tape depending on what happens here. So Taguchi gets second life against Mahalam. Against a righty, 5-4, ballpark single. I'm going to go get my correction tape. Ballpark single, I got to remember that. All right, apologies for the delay, but potentially a ballpark single here for Taguchi. It was a 5-4. That is a ballpark single for a righty, 1-12. It's a 16, so not a ballpark single. That will be a line out to the shortstop. So it does, in a sense, get another out. That'll bring up Jason Worth. By the way, the Pirates were playing with the infield back looking for an out. They will intentionally walk Worth to get to Chase Utley, lefty-lefty matchup. So we'll see if how that works out for the Pirates here. Bases loaded, 2 outs, and a 1-7. With the infield back, that's a ground ball to second, and Freddie Sanchez will turn that in for the final out. So no runs for the Phillies. They had a golden opportunity there. Both teams have had some opportunities with the bases loaded. And neither team can cash in, so it'll be Jason Bay leading off against Myers. Bottom of the third, no score. And a 1-9, ground ball to short. Bay will be out as Bruntlett throws to first. Ryan Domet has not registered an at-bat. He walked his first time up. That is a 5-8. Batting from the left side, ground ball to second. Utley 2, E14. 2 and 13 is going to be the G1, and then 14 on an E14 at second base is a play that is made. So 2 outs now. Xavier Nady. Okay, 5-2 against a righty. Another ground ball to second. Trying to take it the other way. Utley, again, 2-14, and that's going to be an out. So, 1-2-3 for Myers. We're still looking for our first run of the game as we head to the fourth. The Howitzer will lead off, Ryan Howard. That was always my nickname for him. I don't know about you guys, but that's what I like to call him. So lefty. 1-6. And this ball is tagged. This one is long. And this one is gone. A leadoff home run for Ryan Howard. And that will put the Phillies ahead 1-0. So, Phillies finally take a lead in this series. Pat Burrell, 4-9 against a righty, and he's going to get a single. So, Pedro Feliz now, 0 for 1, struck out. And a 5-3 against a righty. Ballpark home run, a righty, you need a 1 roll on the D20 to get it. Probably not going to happen there. It's a 4. Not good enough. That'll be a fly ball to Bay. That'll be the first out. Bruntlett, he got the first hit for the Phillies and was stranded at third. So, and a 6-11 against a right-hander. Well, that'll be a walk, so runner will move into scoring position. That's Burrell. Top of the fourth, 1-0. One across this inning. Bring up Carlos Ruiz. Mahalam having a little bit of difficulty this game so far. And here is Chooch. And that's a 3-12. And that's going to get him out of the inning. That's a ground ball to second. Sanchez will toss it to Rivas. Underhanded. Rivas across to first. And that'll end the inning, but they get a run on 2 hits. They leave 1. And the pitcher will come up to bat for the Phillies in the 5th. Myers out for the 4th. It'll be LaRoche, Bautista, and Rivas. Here we go. Adam LaRoche. That's a 5-9 against a lefty. Struck him out. Jose Bautista. Hi, David. 3-7. And that'll be a ground ball sharply hit to Feliz. He will pick it up. He will throw to first and in time for the second out. Luis Rivas, he walked in the second. And he's going to ground it right at Bruntlett. Easy play for him. Nothing doing for the Pirates. Myers has set down 9 in a row. And we're going to go to the 5th with it 1-0. Fighting's on top. Okay, so yeah, we're about halfway through, and we're about the 30-minute mark, so that sounds about right. So it'll be Myers leading off here. He might be, I don't want to say anything too what do you want to call it? Too ambitious yet. 4-7, 1-9 single. And it's a 2. They've had the luck of the D20 so far. So that will be a single for Myers. Nice to get the pitcher off there. Taguchi, not a great hitter. I'm almost wondering if we should try to have him. I don't think they'd be expecting a bunt here. We're going to try laying down a sack bunt here and get Myers over. But it's an 11. Man. That's a B11. It's a 1 and 2, so he's going to catch a break on that. Now he'll swing away. I'm going to lose another die before this day is done. So, with 2 strikes on him, he's going to swing away. Bunt's taken off. 5-11 against a righty. Fly ball to right field. It's going to be Nady tested here. Nady, a 4E4. Maybe his range will come into play. It's a 17 and a 3. I don't know if that'll be good enough on the outfield chart. 4E4. The 17 will be plenty enough to have him get to the ball. It's a question of whether the right fielder with an E4. Oh, that's a 2-base error. Wow, you don't get many of those 3 1s in a row there. E4, that's a 2-base error. E9, and that's going to move Myers to third base with nobody out. Second and third, nobody out. Mahalam might be a little shell-shocked right here after his right fielder takes his eye off the ball, glances off it, and heads into the corner. So here's Jason Worth looking to break this game open potentially. 3-9. But he strikes out, and that's a big out for Mahalam. That'll be Chase Utley. Yeah, you're right, Baseball Demos. I noticed that triples is usually good in History Maker. So Chase Utley, again, second and third, they will play. Trying to decide if they'd play infield in with a 1-0 lead in the 5th. Mahalam, pretty good. 3.70 ERA. You figure he's not going to give up too many runs. You keep it close. You cut that run off. They're going to play the infield in. Let's say the corner's in. They'll try to hold that runner. Corner's in here with Utley at the plate. And that's a 2-5. And that's going to be a single with only 1 out. That will get through. And that will be a single and 2 runs will score. And that wouldn't have mattered whether they played infield in, corners in, or nothing. It's all coming in. And the Phillies will take a 3-0 lead. 2 RBI there for Chase. And that's a good... that's a nice nice way to roll about it here for the Phils. They've been lacking in some timely offense, and they get it here. So, and Mahalam is going to be up in the bottom of the inning. So, why am I offline with my Kindle? It's kind of weird. Okay, see you, David. Thanks for tuning in for a couple innings here. Appreciate it. Just trying to gauge why. I was trying to see what the chat looks like at the moment, and I can't because my browser went down. So, Utley. So Utley, his chances of stealing are not that great, but he's going to try to get a lead with 1 out, and Ryan Howard, the double play machine. He needs to get a 5 to get the good lead, and he gets a 10, so it's not going to be a good lead there. Hi, Al. I'm good. I don't know who all is left here, but so Utley isn't able to get a good lead. And since they are holding him on, it's going to be a no-go for him to try and run. Still trying to get my window back up for YouTube. Here's Howard. There's a 6-10 against a left-hander. Ground ball to third base. It'll be Bautista. 3E22. 3-17. That may be good enough to get the double play. We'll see here. Let me get the chart out. 3-17 is, that's a G1 and a 12 on the E22. Uh-oh. That's trouble. E22 and 12 is a 1-base error, so the throw is wide, and Howard will reach on the E5. All right. I guess I need to just reboot the window. The window was messed up here. All right, so first and second with 1 out, and the Pirates are going to have to start getting their bullpen stirring around, I do believe. They'll have Tyler Yates warming up. Their one roster move between the last game and this one is that they brought in John Van Benschoten into the lineup, and Matt Morris, who started the previous game, was sent down. So they have an extra pen arm available to them. I think Van Benschoten becomes a starter for them. But okay, so Pat Burrell up. First and second, 1 out. And there ain't no sacrificing going on here for Burrell. He's looking for the seats. That's a 3-10. But that's going to be that double play ball that they so needed. 6-4-3. And the 5th will go to the bottom. And Yates can maybe still be getting warmed up here. So 2 runs on, 2 hits. 2 errors in the inning. So not a great defensive inning there for the Buccos. And so we'll go to the bottom of the 5th. Myers given a 3-run lead. We'll see if he can keep it going. So the Pirates with a 3-0 deficit. And Mahalem has already faced 23 batters. Yeah, I agree. The trouble that's benefiting the Phillies, I don't mind that too much. Sorry, Pirates fans, but yeah, I think with how Mahalem has gotten through things, I think he's going to have to be pinch hit for to lead off. So they will be looking for a leadoff hitter type, someone who can get on base for them. And let's take a look. It's either Mintkevich or Morgan, probably. They're gonna use Mintkevich as their leadoff hitter here. They're gonna pinch hit for Mahalem. So early exit for him, but they have to try and get something started. Got to get something started here, because I don't want to be accused of trying to get the Pirates into trouble. So, I mean, someone might think that going to the bullpen at this point would be getting them into trouble. But so Myers will face Mintkevich. And a 2-8. That's a ground ball to second, and that's going to be the first out. Okay, but she's going to sit down. Put the pitcher's card back where it belongs, right underneath deck now, and it's going to be McLeod. 0 for 2 so far. And a 3-8 and a ground ball to Howard. I want to double check this. 3-8, yes, ground ball to Howard. He's going to take it to the bag himself. That'll be the second out. And so it'll be Freddie Sanchez, also 0 for 2. And a 3-8 again. And that'll be a fly ball to center field. And Jason Worth will make the grab. And that's 12 in a row for Myers. He has come to play today. 3-0 lead for the Phillies going to the 6th. And the Pirates will go ahead and do their pitching change. Mahalam only goes 5 innings. On the hook for the loss here, potentially. Although I believe those 2 runs are both going to be unearned. Only the home run to Howard is an earned run. So, okay, Yates will come in to face Feliz, Bruntlett, and Ruiz. Tyler Yates with a 3.0 ERA, 2 wins, 2 losses in 14 appearances so far. 15 innings pitched, 16 strikeouts, 8 walks, so pretty good record for him thus far. Pretty good account for himself. That's a 5.9. Facing a righty, and that's not going to be a good account of him at the moment. 1-3 a home run, 4-20 a double. It's going to be a double for Feliz to lead off the 6th. Hi, Statistician. So, Feliz at second. Bruntlett at the plate against a righty. Not a good bunter. They're just going to go ahead and let him swing away here. See if he can move the runner. 3-12. Ground ball to third base. That's not going to get the job done. That he'll have to hold. And Bautista throws to first for the first out. Carlos Ruiz. 0 for 1. He grounded into the double play there in the 4th inning. 2-9. Struck him out. Tyler Yates coming on strong here. It'll be Brett Myers, and they will... you're a little tired? Well, hopefully I don't put you to sleep. I'm going to go ahead with the runner on second and keep Myers in. That's a 3-5. And that's going to be a ground ball to short that will end the inning. But I think with the way Myers is pitching at the moment, you don't do much with that other than just let him keep rocking and socking. So 3-0 going to the bottom of the 6th. I'm doing pretty well. I watched some baseball this morning. I'm here with the kids. The wife is off having some her time, so that's good. And let's see what else is happening. Not too much. Just trying to keep it together here. Trying to get the Phillies a win, even though I'm not trying to do too much damage to the Pirates. That'll be a deep fly ball, but it's going to stay in the park. It'll be caught by Worth for the first out. Ryan Domit against a lefty. 6-6. Struck him out. Myers wheeling and dealing here. And Xavier Nady against a righty. 6-5. That's a ground ball to short, and Bruntlett will grab it, and he sidearms it over to first. Plenty of time there, even though Nady does have he has a Scotia speed. not much, but Myers, he's given up only 1 hit so far. Going to the 7th, it's 3-0. And I agree, congratulations there to your stepson. I've got a couple years before I have that kind of stuff happening in my house, but it'll come really quickly, and I know it will. Okay, well, yeah, I'm glad to be here, and welcome Spizer. Maybe it's Spizer. So Taguchi against Yates. Yates is going to have a second inning of work here. 4-10 against a righty. Ballpark single for Taguchi. Can he get one off of the 1-12? He gets a 1. Phillies have gotten, I think, all of the 1s that have helped them. Oh boy. Statistician being prolific. That's good. Hopefully more Strat players in the world. So Jason Worth is up now with Taguchi at first on the single. That was kind of a strange roll. 1-8. Struck out. That's how I should expect it to happen when I roll that funky. I should get a crappy result. I'm trying to play as many super advanced rules as I can. If I miss one, it's my fault. I don't really want to, but you know, sometimes it does happen that we get ahead of ourselves and stuff. But with 1 out, I think Taguchi, they're going to hold him on. I think he's definitely going to try to get a lead here and see if he can take a base, get into scoring position. And that is a 5. He will. +1 now with the 8s on the mound. He's -1, but Dumet is a +2 arm. So he's 20, +1, and then -2. So he's going to be 1-19. It's all but assured unless that freak 20 roll comes up. Oh, boy. Oh! I thought it was going to lean, and it just fell over. He is out at second. Caught stealing. Oh, man. Totally jobbed on that one. It sat there for a second. It was halfway between 2 and 20, and it just did this little... Serves me right. I should never say almost assured or anything like that. Oh! Like, man... You get a single 2-star from Utley and he scores. It's like, you got to do it. And he gets burned, so. And a 2-5. Well, that wouldn't have, that would have been a pop-up anyway, right? Because that's, yeah. That's a clutch shot there. So that would have been a pop-out. So, anyway. He still gets a single out of it now because nobody's on, but... That'll bring up Ryan Howard. Okay, yeah, I'll try to stay on for a few minutes there. It depends on how long I take. I should have had a lefty up, but I think they're going to do that. They're going to get a lefty into the game now. So, with 2 outs, they've got to bring in another pitcher here. They are not going to have a righty face Howard, so let's do this. It's going to be Phil Dumatrate. I think that's how you say his name. Didn't watch a whole lot of Pirates baseball back when these guys were... So, but I think that's how you would say his name. And I'm just going to put him in the 9 hole here. So... But he's going to come in here and try to nail down the lefty Howard for that final out. So, just a second. Did I have a 1 on the D20? And I can't rewind now, I don't think. So, I grabbed the dice and I was looking and I was wondering if I had a 1. Yeah, I mean, just ask these guys. These guys, quite a few of them know know all sorts of stuff. I mean, because it's not really going to change what I did, other than I'm going to have to re-roll and have to get back out what's-his-face's card, Yates, and re-roll that if it was a 1. It just caught out of the corner of my eye. It looked like it was a 1 there, and I'd like to know one way or the other if it was, because no doubt someone, well, I don't know, someone may not bring it up in the comments. I think I've probably flipped out enough, not flipped out, but you know what I mean. There have been times that I have had little sometimes it can throw me off a little bit. I don't know. I don't know if that was a 1 or not. Unless Richard is able to come back here in a short amount of time with the answer, because I think he is running it back a little bit. I'm going to assume that, I mean, let's see what Yates was. I was on Utley's roll. Because, I mean, Yates does have a 14 wild pitch. So, yeah, Utley. That was the one. Because I picked up the dice and I saw a 1. And I don't know if I just moved my dice before or if it was actually there. And so I want to make sure I don't presume something that one way or the other, that because I mean, the umpire could have just had a bad go of it here. So you know, that happens even in baseball. You know, guys fall asleep. There was a couple there in the game I was watching. Like I said, Detroit and San Diego. I think Ausmus got ran out of the game because his batter, Kinsler, was chirping about a check swing that was called a strike. And Kinsler got hot and went back to the dugout, got hot at the first base umpire, and I think then... Okay, well, I'll tell you what. We're just going to say that the umpire blew it, and it'll be Howard now against Dumatrate with 2 outs. And a 6-6 against a lefty. That'll be a fly out to center, and everything will be A-OK. Unless the Phillies lose, then I'll probably pitch a fit, but no. 7th inning stretch here. No runs, 2 hits. A freak of nature thrown out by weak-armed Dumit, and just a great tag. I guess maybe he spun the wheels a bit before he took off, and just enough to lose it. So, okay, sorry to keep people waiting. It's going to be Myers going into the 7th. This will be his inning of weakness, and it'll be Adam LaRoche 0 for 1. Yeah, it used to be able to let me go back, and now it doesn't because I'm using a different program. And LaRoche will draw a walk. So, some life here for the Pirates, and the Phillies will take a look at who they used last game. Used Madsen and Durbin, so they will get... This is the 7th. They're going to get J.C. Romero and Clay Condrey up in the pen. The reason behind rolling the D20 with runners on base is that there is a check for... That's how you determine whether there is a wild pitch, a balk, or a passed ball. If it's a 1 or a 2 when you roll that D20, then you have to do some other checks to determine whether a wild pitch or balk or passed ball has occurred. So, Jose Bautista with a runner at first, nobody out. And he strikes out, and that'll be the first out. So, it'll be Rivas And I should have rolled the D20. I forgot to. Let's do that real quick. It's a 19, so we don't have to worry about it. Luis Rivas. 5-7 against a righty. Needs a 1 for a single. I'm not saying anything about this guy. Just do what you're going to do. There you go, 18. Line out to third base. 2 outs. The pitcher spot. And they will go to Niger Morgan. And let's see. Who's coming up? Burl Felice. They will be getting Evan Meek ready to go. And you know what? I hate using this guy because look at his card. That is a disaster waiting to happen. So let's see. They're going to get Damaso Marte warming up. He's a lefty, but he has pretty good numbers against righties, so that's what they're going to do. But it'll be Morgan here. Lefty-righty matchup. 2 outs and LaRoche at first. Is there any reason to... Not much reason. It's a +1 minus... What we could say is if we don't hold him on, it might be worth trying to get him a steal. But because then if he got a good lead, it would be 1 to 14 for him. We'll give it the roll. Let's see. If there's a 3, there's a 4 or a 2. Almost gets the 3 roll. That would have been something else for LaRoche. So here's Morgan. Against a lefty, 6-7. Another 1. A 1-slot double. The rest will be fly balls to center. And it's a 2. Believe it or not, so close for the Pirates. Instead, that's going to be caught. And that will be it. So, no runs. Myers may be done here. We'll see. Going to go to the 8th. It is 3-0. And they've got 5 batters till the pitcher spot. That might be what it comes down to. If they get to the pitcher spot, that means that runners will have gotten on base. So the Pirates will go to Marte. Different Marte than who they have now. X for Marte. So here we go. Top of the 8th. It'll be Pat the Bat. And that's going to keep Jenkins from making an appearance here. So here's Pat. Let's look at it on this side. Pat Burrell against Marte. 3-4, and that's going to be a ground ball to short. It will be fielded by Rivas and thrown to first. Pedro Feliz now. I didn't need to roll the D20 there. Feliz. 5-6 against a right-hander. That'll be a strikeout. 2 down. And Eric Bruntlett. 2-10. And he'll get a walk. 2-out base runner. It's going to be Chooch. Over 2. He was also beaned. And a 4-9 with a 1 on the D20 this time, so we will make sure that that was a 1. I just hit it with my finger. 1-4 wild pitch. It won't be, so let's re-roll. Ruiz. It's going to be 5-2 against a righty. Ballpark home run. You need a 1 for a right-handed hitter to be out of here. So, he's weak anyway, so it wouldn't be a home run. It would be a single. And it's going to be a fly ball that is caught by Bay, and that'll be it for the Phillies in the 8th. Just about get to Meyer's spot. they will give him another... They'll give him a shot here to come out here in the 8th and get through this, because he's pitching pretty well. They're going to sit down Condry. They're going to keep Romero up. And they'll have Lidge. They're thinking about Lidge there too, potentially, depending on who comes up. Nate McLouth against Myers. 2-7. And that's going to be a ground ball to first, fielded by Howard, and we'll take it to the bag. There's been 2 of those in this game. 0 for 4 for McLouth. He's been close to getting those walk rolls. 1 out. Freddie Sanchez. 5-12 against a right-hander. A ballpark home run. He is weak against righties, so it's just going to be a 1 would be a single. And it's a 3. It'll be a fly ball to the left. Burrell gets it, 2nd out. And it's going to bring up Jason Bay. 2-8. And Myers gets it. He will jog part the way there. Throw it to Howard, and he'll get through 8. So there we go. Myers. 1 batter has reached in the last 6 innings. I almost feel like you have to let Myers close it out here, but with Lidge maybe loosening up a bit. So let's go to the top of the 9th. It'll be it's not going to be Marte. He's only rated for an inning. Let's see, they will go with Graybo here. Another lefty. And let's see. So Marte win an inning. So this is where it really matters. This is probably the biggest part of it right now is I kind of feel like if you want the Phillies to close this out, your best bet is to go with Lidge. Traditional baseball would say you don't pull that pitcher out when he's been pitching so well. He's only given up 1 hit in the game so far. Let's keep him in, but we will have Lidge ready to go in case Myers runs into any issues. So Myers at the plate, and a 5-11. He's batting from the right side. It'll be a ground ball to short. 1 out. We'll see if this comes back to haunt me. So Taguchi against Graybo. 1-6. Ground ball to LaRoche. And LaRoche will make the play. Jason Worth. 2-4. Draws a walk. Graybo decent at holding runners. So we could say that they play off him, and that would let him steal. But I think they're gonna hold him on, and he's not even gonna try. So it'll be Utley against Graybo here, 2 down. Gets the lefty, 5-11, ground ball to second, and that will end the top of the 9th. And it's going to be Myers, 3 outs between him and a nice 1-hit victory. Potentially complete game if he can get there. So it's going to be Dumet, Nady, and LaRoche. And there's probably not a whole lot of reason. Chris Gomez might be worth thinking about bringing in as a pinch hitter for someone if it comes to that. But it's going to be Dumet to start. So here we go. Against Myers. Myers looking for a solid performance. 2-6. And that's going to be a pop out to second to start the inning. And that's 1 out. Boy, he's lucky nobody was on second. With 2 outs, that would have been a clutch hit. Xavier Nady, 0 for 3. Against a right-hander, 4-5 is a walk. And Lidge is warming, and they are going to make the move. So Myers, they're going to take the ball from him, give it to Brad Lidge. Myers goes 8 1/3, and this is an as-played replay, so these should be, unless I wrote them down wrong off of the internet, those are the exact lineups. Now, other projects I do aren't necessarily exact lineups. I usually formulate those out of my own, whatever I feel like doing for a team. So, I gotta get this. It's tough to get everything in the shot. So, Brad Lidge in here, looking for 2 outs. And to be done, it'll be Adam LaRoche against Lidge. 6-10 against a lefty. That's a ground ball to short. This could be the ball game. Let's see. LaRoche is a lefty, so it's gonna drop Bruntlett's rating. Or are we gonna say they weren't holding Nady on? Could say they weren't holding him on. And it's probably the case they wouldn't be holding him on, I would think. So we're going to keep it 3E21 for Bruntlett. But it's a 1. That's going to be a hit. That is a seeing eye single. Where is the chart? Make sure there isn't an error associated with it as well. It's going to be 3. That's a single, 2 base advance, first and third. Tying run will come to the plate. And let's see, Bruntlett is an E20, 21 and a 12. No error, but that is going to make it a little bit tense here. You got Bautista coming to the plate with Lidge. You got some power there. Here we go, Bautista against Lidge. Lidge, if you recall, did not blow a save in 2008 in their World Series season. So, trying to stick with it here. We'll see if it can happen. 2 on, 1 away. They're going to play with the infield back. They'll give up a run. They'd love to get a double play ball here and just be done with it, but we'll see. 2-12. Potential ballpark effect correction. 1-7. Would be a single, would score the run and put 2 on. And it's a 3. That is a single, and in comes the run. And that's going to bring up Luis Rivas, and I think we're going to have to take a look at Chris Gomez. Let's see, let's take a look at the cards here. Let's take a look. 1-15, 1-10. He's got a single at 6, although it's not a... That's... I kind of feel like you have to... I feel like you have to pinch hit with Gomez here, even though it's a right-hander. I feel like he's got better chances of doing stuff. So, I think we're going to do that. First and second, 1 out. Lidge looking like he might not have his best stuff in this game. And here is Gomez. First and second, 1 away. 5-5 against a righty. And he strikes him out for the second out. And it'll be... Let's see. It's the pitcher spot. We got to go with either Paulino or Bixler. I think you got to go with Paulino at this point. It'll be Ronnie Paulino. You would have to bring out Dumet to do this because you'd be done with your catchers. Well, you wouldn't have to, but it's going to be Paulino pinch hitting here. Tying run at first, winning run at at bat against Lidge. 2 outs. Ronnie Polino. Can Lidge close it down? 5-3 against a righty. Pitcher X. Lidge is 2-0. You just got to avoid the fatal 1. Let's see, what do we got here on a 2? On a 2, a 1 or a 2, you got to avoid the low roll here. And it's a 3. That'll be a ground ball 3, and he's an E0. There's no errors. That will be the ball game. Throws to first. That ends it, and Lidge makes it interesting. Maybe the Phillies manager makes it a little bit interesting as well, as he leaves Myers in. I don't know, maybe not too long, but I'll tell you what, it just goes to show you that nothing is a given in this game. So, you know, just because Lidge did it once, it's depending on how things line up, he is. It would surprise me if he goes through this season without missing on a save here before it's all done. But good win for the Phillies. They salvaged that final game after having some really tough starts for both of their pitchers. Seemed like their pitchers had some really good starts. Like Eaton and Kendrick had some better starts in other series. And so this may have been the natural adjustment, is that they would have a couple of tough ones, and that's what they had to start this series. But Myers, the ace of the staff, comes through, and that will be it. So we move on to... Give me a moment here. I'll answer some questions if you guys want. So the Pirates won that game in real life 5-1. And why did that just happen? All right, next game. They'll be playing San Diego next, so it should be another series that they, in theory, should be able to do something with. I want to look and see what their... give me a second while I bring up the... I want to bring up the Phillies list of results. Baseball Reference, and its ads have to load, which is extremely annoying, but Phillies move up to 12-14 after 26 games, which is a couple games below their pace in real life. I'm not so sure about that. Spicer 2007, is that what it was? Or just 007 maybe? I don't know. I mean, I think everybody has their own so like History Maker Baseball, there have been some user charts that have come up for like self-strategy. It is something that you really should it would probably be nice when you're playing against a team. I mean, it's really tough when you have to make decisions, and you could potentially impact the team that you're like if you have a vested interest in a team, it can be tough. But yeah, the Phillies take 2 of 3 at home against the Padres, and then they face the Giants and take 2 of 3. So they go 4 of 6 on that homestand. And so if they were to do that, that would get them to 16-16. We'll see if maybe we can gain some ground on that. But it looks like Hamels and... Is that Greg Maddux pitching for the Padres? I can't remember him pitching for the Padres at the end of his career. It's got to be him, right? It's not Mike. Yeah, there he is, Greg Maddux. Yeah. So we'll get a chance to see him in the next game. Albeit a rather rather bit of a shell of himself. Although he had a 3.99 ERA with the Padres, so he wasn't too bad. 6-9 with them. Then he went to the Dodgers for the end of the season there. So, hi Larry. So it'll be Hamels against Maddox, and I'm trying to get the rest of the list up here, but it has to. I moved forward to go look at Maddox's numbers and whatnot. So then it'll be Moyer against Young. Is that Chris Young? I'll have to take a look. And then I don't know who starts the third game. It would have to be Eaton for the Phillies, and I'm not sure who is would be starting for the Pods. Yeah, Chris Young. So, all right. Well, I'm going to have to sign off because I got to go do some stuff with my youngins. So, thanks for watching. It's nice to get a win for the Phillies under our belt. Get back into the swing of things, and try to get another game in tomorrow, maybe in the afternoon, depending on when I kind of get my act together. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Strat on. Have a great day. And Phillies win by a final score of 3-1.